Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with the DRF Bets Race of the Day for Wednesday, May the 30th. It is opening day at Delaware Park, and our race of the day is race number 7, a race which you can bet with your new DRF Bets account. Sign up right now and you can get free cash. Join the Belmont Stakes action with free cash. Sounds like a good deal to me. Learn more at drf.com/bet. Let's take a look at the field for race number 7. We're going about 7.5 furlongs on the turf, and this is a maiden special weight for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. And you can access free formulator past performances for the race of the day on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with me. Let's take this field in post position order, beginning with the first-time starter. That's the number 1, Rivera T, and this horse has some turf pedigree as a granddaughter of both Dynaformer and Sadler's Wells. This dam has thrown 2 turf winners from 6 runners. I just wish there was more strength on the sire side. The sire, Cosavera, unraced on the track, never actually made it to the racetrack. 0 for 5 with older debut runners, 0 for 19 with first-time turf runners. A lot of turf in the pedigree, couple of bullet works, interesting inside post position, could work out to a nice ground-saving trip, but Rivera T for me, I wish there was just a little bit more power and appeal on top of the pedigree. Should handle the turf just fine. The number 2 is A Ghost Zapper, and you can understand why this filly was claimed for $20,000 2 starts back. Her dam was grade 1 placed on a synthetic surface, but in her first start for these new connections for a mere $40,000 tag, she was walloped on the turf, beaten by 51 lengths, basically trailed throughout, and now she's stepping up into the maiden special weight ranks. She's going to have to run the race of her career to pull off the upset. The 3 Lady Brianna, she has entered main track only. We hope this race stays on the turf. The 4 is Frippery, and she's got to be considered a main contender. She's a first-time starter by City Zip, who wins 13% of the time with older debut runners, 13% of the time with first-time turf runners, and although the dam was unraced, she has been a very productive brood mare. Frippery is a half to Furthest Land, who won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile on the old Pro Ride synthetic surface at Santa Anita, and she is also a half to Street Move, graded stakes placed on the turf. So a lot of turf and class pedigree. You've got top-notch connections, Daniel Centeno, Arnaud de la Cour. This horse breezed in 59 and change at Fair Hill 2 works back. You got to think Frippery is going to be ready first time out. 8-1 on the morning line, a must-use for me. Perhaps a backup in multiple race wagers is the number 5 Aspening. This filly has been a little bit of a disappointment for the Tom Proctor barn. She started 3 times at the fairgrounds. She was sent off at 7-2 odds or less in all 3 of those races, and she burned money each and every time. But it's probably too early to give up on her, considering that she is a half-sister to Kirtana, multiple graded stakes winner on the turf. Half-sister to Snow Top Mountain, multiple graded stakes winner on the turf. Half to Diversey Harbor, graded stakes winner on the turf. This filly has the pedigree that if she's going to turn it around, she can be okay. The question is, what price do you want to take? She's 6-1 on the morning line. Last time out at the fairgrounds, I thought was a disappointing effort. She got a good pace to rally into and just wasn't there in the stretch. She's gotten some time to rest from that race. 2 starts back, she earned a 70 buyer speed figure. That would put her in the mix. The 5 Aspening, a disappointment thus far, but still has some pedigree appeal. I'd use her as a backup in multiple race wagers, as I would the 6 Screen Image. Now, Screen Image has only raced once for trainer Jonathan Shepard. That was last fall at Delaware Park, and I thought she ran quite well as a 16-1 long shot. There was no pace whatsoever. That race was won in wire-to-wire fashion by a 34-1 shot, and Screen Image was one of the few horses at least making up a little bit of ground at the end of the race, overcoming that slow pace. The problem with Screen Image is she hasn't run since that race, way back on September the 23rd, and you have to wonder if she's going to need one off the bench. But she is getting Lasix for the first time. She's got a nice pedigree as a daughter of Giants Causeway, and a 10-1. You can use her at least underneath in single race exotics and as a backup in multiple race wagers. The 7 Ballerina Kitten is a first-time starter by noted turf stallion Kitten's Joy, who wins 15% with older debut runners, 14% with first-time turf runners. My problem with this pedigree, however, lies on the bottom. I just don't see a lot of turf. The dam was a stakes-placed dirt sprinter who was well beaten in her one and only turf start, and this is the female family of Burning Roma, a millionaire and a grade 1 stakes winner, but did most of his damage on the dirt. Kitten's Joy, big turf influence. I wish there was some more turf on the bottom of this pedigree. The horse they're arguably going to have to beat's the number 8 Sila Manila, another one going out for trainer Tommy Proctor. Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector. They've got Sila Manila, the 8, out there on the lead, and that really doesn't surprise me at all. This will be her first start around 2 turns. I'll throw out her most recent race at Keeneland. It was on the dirt. Her last start on the turf came in a very live race. It's produced 3 next out winners, and the winner of that race not only came back to win an allowance at Keeneland with an 84 Beyer speed figure, but then made 3 for 3 in her career by winning a little stakes race at Canterbury Park with an 83 Beyer stakes figure. I thought Sila Manila ran just fine in that race, tracking the pace, angling 3 wide, and staying on evenly. And when you look at her pedigree, you've got to think that this longer distance is going to be right in her wheelhouse. She is a half-sister to Path of David, who is a turf stakes winner, but she's also a half to Adagun, a turf winner who finished 3rd in the Belmont Stakes, of course, at 1.5 miles. Sila Manila, I think, is a must-use at 9-2 on the morning line. Firgal Lynch rode very well at Delaware last year. Lusitania, the 9, entered main track only. Again, we hope this race stays on the turf. The 10 is Conquest Valkyrie, and you can forgive Conquest Valkyrie's last race. Not only was she stretching out from 6 furlongs to 12 furlongs, not only had she not raced in a year, but she was also cooked on a very fast pace for that class of horse. The problem is, that was her second lifetime start, and we haven't seen her in 629 days. She's a 5-year-old mare. She's raced twice, both of those races interrupted by year-plus layoffs. Conquest Valkyrie might show some fresh speed off of the layoff, but she's been away a very, very long time. She's hard to trust. The 11 is Charming Emmy, who has only raced once prior on the turf, and that was the race that produced Screen Image, and she was up close to that moderate pace. I thought Screen Image ran a lot better than Charming Emmy that day. She's got more dirt than turf pedigree. She's a half-to multiple dirt stakes winner named Sapphire Sky. I just think dirt is going to be her preferred surface. Horses on the also eligible list, the 12 Agreeable certainly could win this race for Michael Matz, trying turf for the first time. The Dam was a stakes winner on the long. The 13 Benavida, I'd like to watch one if she does get into this race. Her sire K1 King, about 9% winners overall on turf. Isoclone, the 14's got a nice turf pedigree, but well beaten on the grass 2 starts back. Let's take a look at my top pick for race number 7 at Delaware Park, Wednesday's race of the day on opening day. I like Sila Manila. I wouldn't take any less than 3-1, however. She is 9-2 on the board. She might have a pace edge, as we saw from the pace projector. She is exiting a race that has already produced 3 next out winners, and she earned a 66 Beyer 2 starts back. Plus, her pedigree indicates that she should be able to successfully stretch out around 2 turns. I would also use the 4 Frippery in any kind of multiple race wager as an A, the first-time starter for Arnaud de la Cour by City Zip. My backups are the 6 Screen Image and the 5 Aspening. Again, you can play this Delaware card, this opening day card on Wednesday, with the new DRF Bets account. Join the Belmont Stakes action with free cash. Learn more at drf.com/bet. And approximate post time for the 7th at Delaware Park on Wednesday is 4:15 Eastern. Best of luck.